What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to get your first virtual wholesaling deal this year. And step by step, this is my 2022 complete ultimate virtual wholesaling guide for 2022. So if you're ready to learn virtual wholesaling real estate, let's get it going, guys. I'm super excited to share exactly how to start virtual wholesaling today. This is my 2022 guide. I'm excited. I see everyone on here. Guys, welcome. Awesome. We are going to be learning virtual wholesaling today. So before we get into it, guys, do me one huge favor. Smash that like button and subscribe. Get the most free value from me. And let's break down virtual wholesaling from start to finish, guys. I love everyone in the house. What is up, Corey, Tila? Guys, what is up? I see the chat blowing up. Gage, Oscar, Christian. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on today and learning virtual wholesaling. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. Everyone knows I love virtual wholesaling, and virtual wholesaling is one of the best ways to get started in wholesaling real estate. You can do virtual wholesaling from Australia, England. We got a lot of people from Nigeria actually watching and learning from Nigeria. I know some people from Nigeria actually doing real estate deals. Title companies send stuff over. So that's pretty impressive, guys. You can, in the whole worldwide, I mean, they're calling me Pitbull over here. I mean, I'm Mr. Worldwide right now, teaching wholesaling around the world, everywhere. I'm excited, guys. So right now we're going to learn virtual wholesaling real estate, exactly how to get it going. But guys, before we have to jack it up, get you guys excited. So Toe says we're not ready until you play the song. Everybody knows Eddie's ready to go. Guys, let's get it going. Philip, what is up? Let's go. Let's get started. Let's get it, guys. Woo! I'm ready. I'm ready, jacked up, guys. If you're ready for wholesaling time, it is wholesaling real estate o'clock. Let's get it, guys. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, again, they got go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
What is up? We are back here, guys, and we're excited to go, guys. So we're going to learn virtual wholesaling today. This is my 2022 guide. I'm excited, guys. Remember, if you want to learn wholesaling real estate absolutely for free, we're going to go to freewholesaling.com if you guys want. That is the quick plug. That is my start to finish guide for virtual wholesaling and for every aspect of wholesaling real estate. But guys, right now, it is all about virtual wholesaling real estate. So for all my virtual peeps out there, what is up? I just saw we got somebody from Pakistan coming in watching, guys. We are truly an international community. I absolutely love it. What is up from everyone from Pakistan? Shout out to one of my cash buyers. I think he bought at least 20 deals from us, I think, last year. He's from Pakistan. Guys, I love the people from Pakistan. They are awesome, guys. Everyone from around the world watching, I appreciate it. A point I'm trying to make here is you could be doing virtual wholesaling from like the studio in here, from like my phone, because I can virtually wholesale from Florida. Also, anywhere around the world, you can go virtually wholesale. And if you have access to a VPN, I mean, there's literally no excuse out there, and VPNs are free. So guys, I'm excited. Let's tap in, guys. Let's break it down and let's start learning wholesaling real estate and virtual wholesaling real estate the right way. So I'm excited about this, guys. So I'm going to really teach you guys for the next, I don't know how long. We're going to try to share my perfect step-by-step guide for virtual wholesaling, guys. Again, this is a live video, so give me some break. This is always a live one, so let's get it going. Jamal out here. What is up, Jamal? Just quick shout out to Jamal. Jamal out here making memes. He's got the WWF belt on me. He made the memes. I mean, Jamal's the man out here making the funny stuff. But shout out to him. Did a great interview with him, and I know he has it released on his. It'll be released on our channel soon. So I'm excited, guys. So let's get into it. I'm sick of waiting. Let's learn virtual wholesaling in 2022, my complete guide. So let's start out probably really quick, guys. So remember, what is virtual wholesaling? And virtual wholesaling is basically the process. So let's kind of talk about the process of regular wholesaling real estate first, and then we'll talk about virtual wholesaling real estate. So number one, so flipping real estate contracts, this is really what we do. It's called wholesaling real estate. Sounds crazy for brand new starting out, but this is a thing. This is the process of finding someone who wants to sell their distressed property or ugly house and signing an agreement to buy that property and selling the paper on that contract for $10,000 to $20,000. And then you sell that to either a house flipper or a landlord. Remember, guys, in virtual wholesaling is basically that's what we're doing in this process, except when we're wholesaling, we're doing it only from our phone and a computer. That's basically it. You got internet access, you can do this from a Starbucks, guys. I'm telling you. So why do I love wholesaling and virtual wholesaling real estate? They go hand in hand on why I love it so much. Number one, you don't need a high school degree or diploma. You don't need a college degree. It doesn't matter. There's no discrimination in wholesaling real estate, which I truly love. If you try to become a realtor, usually you have to have a GED. I know in Florida, pretty much. And then usually if you have like a criminal record, if you're under the age of 18, like they will discriminate you, even if, maybe you're a better person now, and it's pretty crazy how they discriminate there. But again, you can really do anything you want as long as you help sellers out. That's the only thing we discriminate in this business is if you're not helpful to a seller, you're not going to be getting the good deals. And really, one of my favorite parts, honestly, for wholesaling and virtual wholesaling is you can legitimately make a house flipper's or a realtor's like yearly income in like 1 month. I mean, I just did an interview with Ivan Garcia. He did 100K at 18 years old in 1 month, and he's going to scale it up like crazy. Shout out to Ivan. Did an interview with him today, and that should be dropping soon. And he's all virtual wholesaling. It blows my mind. So like people at 18, like at 18, I was not at that level, I'd make 100K if I was graduating high school at that level. This dude's doing 100K a month, right? So the cool part about virtual wholesaling and wholesaling real estate, there's ways to do it 100% legally. Yes, sometimes it's sort of tough. Like if you're in the state of Illinois, guys, consult a lawyer if like you're in a tough state for this. But for most of the time, guys, I can tell you this is 100% legal. You live in Illinois. Due to current laws, you can virtually wholesale in California and still do good as of today's video. I love it, guys. I'm telling you, virtual wholesaling, this is when things started changing for me. In my dorm room, I started virtually wholesaling, not physically, and it is scaling up. So let's sort of talk about it, right? So regular versus virtual wholesaling. A lot of people get confused from this because someone says, oh, here's the top wholesaling lists. And then someone says virtual wholesaling. And you got to understand, like, what's the difference between these two, right? Like the virtual side versus regular side. And really, again, what I can tell you is the biggest difference between the two is one, you only have your phone and your computer. And then the other one is just regular wholesaling real estate. So number one, I can tell you with virtual wholesaling, this is what we're talking about specifically today. I want to know my virtual wholesalers in the house too. Let me know where you're actually at and where you're looking to virtually wholesale. Guys, remember, literally go out here and tell what markets you're working in, and maybe you guys can collaborate in the comments. But remember, guys, in virtual wholesaling, these are going to be your phone and virtual appointments, not really in person. The cool part about why I love virtual wholesaling so much is we're doing a lot more deal volume. Usually you have an unlimited amount of markets for virtual wholesaling, which I absolutely love. So there's going to be more volume usually. Next here is, it is more expensive to scale initially a virtual wholesaling business. I will say that is one downside no one really likes talking about. But if I have systems, I'm going to have to hire people for virtual versus where it's kind of cheaper to do it in person. But again, when you get in a bigger, you're obviously only going to be virtually there. Like I could even consider this today. Like my business is virtual, even though like I consider it in person because I'm not going on the appointments. My acquisitions people are doing the work. It's pretty interesting the way you think about it. So technically my whole business is virtual. If you look at it like that, because I don't pull the marketing, that our team answers the phones, they sell the deal. Like I'm not in it. Like my team's working right now as I'm doing this video. So technically it's all virtual, right? So it's really what you think about on it. Remember guys, there's unlimited potential to virtual wholesaling. What I mean by this is there's really no cap. You got every city in the United States really. And of course there's a cap like, Zach, you can only make $50 billion, virtually wholesale. Okay, fine. we'll give you that, okay? But really, for most of us, it's unlimited potential. It's pretty crazy. You do get less margins per deal for virtual wholesaling. I have seen there is a certain magic and bravado about going and actually doing it in-person acquisitions where you get better deals. I wouldn't say cut it in half per se, but it's at least 75%. So you'll definitely, if it's a 20K deal, most likely for virtual, you're closer to 15, 10,000. Speed is more important for virtual wholesaling. And remember, the appointment process, the whole virtual wholesaling process is basically appointment offer DocuSign. DocuSign is basically a way to do an e-signature. I'm going to show you how to do it all for free too. And then you got the closing versus like if you're doing regular wholesaling real estate, let's say, for example, you got regular appointments, you're actually going in person for these. These are regular appointments. You're actually going out here and, unfortunately here, I got my camera in the way, but you do in-person appointments, less time. Remember, you're going to be the local expert. I don't think anyone can see me here. So let me go here. You're going to do less volume. So you're going to be the local expert. You can't really be the local expert. So if I go and do like virtual wholesaling in like Michigan, I'm not going to be the local guy that was born and raised in Michigan. That is a disadvantage. A huge advantage in wholesaling real estate, I will tell you right now, in person, is the ability to drive for dollars. It kind of stinks for virtual wholesaling. You can't really do that. It's almost like a free way. But I got to tell you, driving for dollars is amazing. You can hire someone to do it, but again, it's kind of harder. Remember, guys, it's easier to get hard lists in regular wholesaling. Just go to the clerk of the court yourself in person and get these lists. And remember, you do get better margins in person, and then it's basically appointment offer in person. But you're basically doing all in person for regular wholesaling versus virtual. So it's definitely, it costs less money to do in person, but you could still do it like for free. It's still a process, but you just got to understand what the difference between these two is. In virtual wholesaling, you can do it all from your computer, which is, I think, absolutely amazing. I love that. But then you do have the burden of sometimes it's harder to scale. The systems are there. It's unlimited potential. But sometimes the acquisitions, if you don't know how to do it the right way, it gets tougher. So as long as you understand that, we're fine here. Remember, guys, I get asked all the time, like, who am I? I'm Zach Ginn. I'm a 22-year-old. Why does that say 21? Oh, my Lord. Basically, I run a 7-figure operation. I started in high school, and I'm here to teach you wholesaling real estate. I don't know. I guess I had a typo there. Whatever. So, yeah, guys, I'm 22 years old. I started this business 17 years old, flat broke. Basically, turned $300 into a 7-figure operation for wholesaling real estate. And I started out, doing regular wholesaling, turned into a virtual wholesaling with cold calling out of my dorm room. Basically, kind of did the regular in-person mostly. Now I scale up. I do a lot of virtual stuff. I JV with some of you guys and really learning how to do both of them in the same time and really teach you guys how to do it because I love this business. This business is amazing. It's changed my life, and I'm here to teach you exactly how to do it absolutely for free today. So let's break it down. Let's kind of break down some more stuff. So the step one for virtual wholesaling is truly finding the right virtual market. I think it's really important to go out here and find the right market first, because that's going to be a big thing. If we're finding the wrong market starting out in wholesaling real estate, you're really set up for failure, and you're going to set up to fail a lot. So I think it's really, really important finding the right virtual wholesaling market. And I'm going to give you some hacks today because for a fact you're watching this channel. I got to drop some gems on you because I have to share with you the best knowledge. There's no paywall knowing this stuff. You can just click a button, go on the video, and you can watch this absolutely for free. Guys, like, this is what we do. This is the stuff you usually have to pay $5,000 to learn. I'm really sharing it to you right now. This is basically watching a virtual wholesaling module at a $5,000 course, seminar, mentorship, whatever you call it, whatever you think about it, absolutely for free. So guys, if you do me a huge favor and smash that like button and subscribe, guys, right now, as you're watching this, I'm going to share with you my finding the right virtual market hacks. You usually got to pay for this info. This is why these gurus are constantly attacking me because I give this info. So let's get in. So best virtual wholesaling markets. I'll tell you hands down right now, the best virtual wholesaling market is the quote unquote one. What do I mean by the quote unquote one? The perfect market out there. What's the one? What I can tell you right now is the one is going to be that secret market that, frankly, that like nobody really knows about. I'll give you one example. I'm going to release this. I'm sorry for everyone watching this, but I got to give gems. I was actually looking up Facebook groups and seeing where people were doing really good like deals. And I was figuring out pretty quick, like there's this certain county in Tennessee that like nobody was doing. It's got a decent sized market, no influencer, no Facebook group. Like nobody's really talking about it. And it was like, I went in there and absolutely crushed it. Eventually some people started talking about it. It didn't do too well, but this is like Sevierville, Tennessee. Like this is like a small county type market in like Tennessee that like nobody was talking about. It was in like a hot state, but it was like a suburb of a suburb. The ARV was cheap and it was absolutely like disgustingly like amazing. Like you just go in their market and no one was talking to these people. It was amazing. It's like fishing, you know, you go fishing in like a place where no one's fished ever. It's absolutely amazing versus like you're in a pond where everyone's fishing. It's like, why are these fish not like, why can't I catch them? This is kind of like what that is. So what I call D1, there is cities and counties where there's over 100,000 people in there that there's roughly like no wholesalers in there. And it's just like fishing. You got to find that pond that no one's fishing in. And it's got to be big enough. You know, you can find a town of 1,000. There's no wholesalers there, right? But if you can find like a town of like over 50 to 100,000 or like a county with 200,000 plus that really no one's talking about, there's not much wholesaling activity, but you know, the ARVs work and there's plenty of places like that. You're going to do really, really good. So what I tell you is the one, you're going to have to go out there and find it. You know, again, this unknown, I'm going to tell you number two is like an unknown market. Like I'm saying in like, let's say the Southeast or Midwest. I really love the Southeast and Midwest right now for like finding these gem places. ARVs under $175,000 this year. If you can find them in the Southeast and Midwest, these are the best. Zach, I live in Utah. What do you mean, guys? Like Salt Lake City's amazing. Places outside in Utah, people are crushing it. Like West Coast, like Utah's a great state. Phoenix is okay, but like, you know, like middle Arizona is fine. The Central Valley in California is fine. Inland Empire, like guys, out west works. The Northwest is tougher. The Northeast is tough. I really, really like the Midwest. Middle America works too. You know, I know some people in like, what is it? The Quad Cities, like by Iowa, that works sort of well. You know, you really got to figure it out. But really, the Southeast, I like, works really well. When I say Southeast, I know people like people from the South. You know, like I'm in Florida, so people are like, you're not in the South, you're in South Florida. That don't count, whatever. But I would include Virginia in that too, in the Southeast, because it's amazing. We're not getting what is it, Mason-Dixon line on here. But number three here, I can tell you is really like if I have to tell you cities and places, Richmond, Virginia, I'm going to say is pretty much Hampton Roads, Virginia, Tennessee, Wayne County, Michigan. This is basically Detroit's county, really low ARVs. The state of North Carolina, I don't know why, it's just amazing. I would say North and Central Georgia. We're going to exclude Atlanta right now. Atlanta's great. It's just sort of saturated. I can tell you right now, North and Central Georgia is really good. The Florida Panhandle has been amazing lately. And then what I can tell you is these like suburb markets that are out, like very cheap markets that are outside or near expensive markets. What do I mean by this? Like we got like Palo Alto, San Jose, really expensive, like Silicon Valley, like insane, right? You know, you got San Fran, Oakland's okay. It's still kind of expensive. And then that's like Fresno, Central Valley's out there. And, you know, you got under $200,000 price properties, like really good. Then you got like Pasco County, like Tampa's like on fire right now, right? That's a really good market too. You know, even Knoxville, like you go out east, you kind of got Asheville there in Western North Carolina. Asheville's beautiful. But that's another really good one. Like you can just gotta like do your own research. I'm gonna tell you the best markets are going to be the ones I don't say, because when I say a market, like oh my gosh, I can tell you right now, shout out to my Fresno people. I don't know how you ever put up with me, because I keep telling people like Fresno is amazing and it's a great market. Like in California, if you live near there, it's a great one. People get so mad at me that like I say good about it, but like when someone says there's no good markets in California, I'm like, just go to Fresno, you know? And I tell you right now, like That's a good one. Like people get mad that I say it. I know the Richmond people are upset. I know some people out there. Shout out to Todd in Richmond. Todd's funny because I'm like, I don't think he's the happiest I talk about Richmond, but he's like, he makes so much money. He's doing so well. Like, I think he JVs with people and he can do well. Shout out to all the people out there. Shout out to Dwight, Robert out there, Richmond. Guys are doing great. The Richmond people are still doing well. But I can tell you is the best market's the one that you got to figure out. People sort of figured out Richmond and no one like went in there. And then, it started getting really good. Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach, Tennessee, Wayne County, North Carolina. Like, guys, you can tell I don't live in these markets. I've never even been to Florida Panhandle before. And I can still say it does really well. I've seen people do well. I've done deals there. Like it works extremely well. So that's what I could tell you right now for virtual wholesaling. So the next thing I can tell you here is, let me get my face out of here, let me give you a quick hack on finding good virtual wholesaling markets. We sort of made this one, pre how the craziness that happened, and some of the stuff. I mean, most of it like reigns true right now. And definitely there's people that haven't seen this chart. I know my OGs have seen this thing like a million times. But what I can tell you right now is how to find a good virtual wholesaling markets, right? What I can tell you is, number one, avoid metro markets. I for a good like, I'm not saying, I do so well in Phoenix, Inland Empire, all these places. I'm like, hey, you can do good in major metro markets, but you're not the one out here trying to make, like, if you're trying to make 100K, 150K, you're going to need volume. And of course, you're going to have to be in those tougher places to wholesale. But if you're going out here trying to make 10, 15, 20K a month the easiest way possible, this is going to be like, I'm trying to help people make their first deal, 250K and below. Like, this is like the perfect chart. Again, I made this, I think, a year and a half ago, maybe. And this thing still like reigns true, when I first started YouTube. So avoid the major metros: Miami, New York City, LA, San Fran. I know people in San Fran do well, but these are 7-figure wholesalers, right? I mean, at that point, you're like at a different level. You're just trying to find a 200K discount on to $2 million house to wholesale, right? But what I can tell you right now is, number two is like, find markets where other wholesalers virtually do deals. What I can tell you is, yes, I told you could do it, or not a lot of people are doing it. But again, if you want to find a good virtual wholesaler quick, don't try to reinvent the wheel sometimes. Like, find out where a lot of people are doing really well. That's how I found Knoxville. And then from there, I started expanding more. And I'm like, what's Severville? Then I started reinventing the wheel there. Sometimes you don't want to try to hit the lottery finding a market that no one's done. That will be your best market. But like, what I can tell you right now is just find markets where other wholesalers virtually do deals. And that's something that you can't really go wrong in. You see a 19-year-old kid randomly doing well, driving for dollars in Houston. I live near there. That's fine. Another one here is find small to medium markets, 200 to 400,000 people populations for a county is pretty good. Make sure there's a lot of cash buyers in that market enough. Use the list source or PropStream cash buyer hacks. Those hacks are in freewholesaling.com. We basically share exactly what I could tell you right now is exactly how to go out here and find how many cash buyers are in your market. This is the list source hack. In the virtual wholesaling modules, we kind of break that down. Another one that nobody ever talks to, like, this is kind of crazy, but like, no one ever talks about this too much. This is how I found Wayne County is like really good, is you got to find really, like, sometimes you got to go metro, like metro markets with low rents have been absolutely killer for me. I can tell you right now, absolutely killer. These are going to be metro markets with low rents. This is like Detroit, for example. And then small markets, like medium small markets with like larger rents. Like, this is like Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Tulsa, Oklahoma is not like a large rent market, but like decent enough where it seems large comparatively to like the rest of Oklahoma, right? Like that's sort of where I'm coming at from here. That's all I got to say, right? Next here is number two, part two, is pulling the list. This is kind of part of it. You got to find the virtual market. And then now we got to go in the nitty gritty and start pulling the list. This is very important, guys. So we're the best lists for virtual wholesaling. These are going to be lists you get like listrei.com, PropStream. You can use Batch to pull it. I mean, if you're going to pay for a list, these are lists I recommend: vacant properties, tired landlords, a scaled up drawing for dollars approach, high equity lists. I tell you, if you're doing like high volume, this can be a good one. And then like pre-foreclosures, you can actually get pre-foreclosures on your government list. Go by the list pendants and notice of defaults. You're going to do really well. And then you obviously got the government list. This is my favorite list. This is the one like in virtual wholesaling, in physical wholesaling, regular wholesaling. This is going to be the best list you can possibly get. These are again are going to be your government lists. Code violations, absolutely love code violations. Just go to your local county's clerk of the court. And you go to the county's code enforcement department, and that's where a lot of these government lists are going to be. So for code violations, just go to the county. So you do county or city really, but what I recommend for code violation, just go to your code enforcement department list and go and pull for the list there of all code violations and ask for all open violations. My favorite are tall grass. Next here is one of my favorite is the water shutoffs, liens, fire damage properties. So let me kind of break this down really quick. So water shutoff list, you go to your local county utility department. Make sure it's a public one. So like whatever county or city utility, don't make sure it is not a private one. Make sure it's public. Next are the liens, tax liens, IRS debt lien lists, credit card debt lien lists, people behind their credit card, their taxes, property tax list. These are amazing lists to be going after, people behind their credit card. This is just great liens to be going after. You can even do like the divorce list. Like these are really good lists. Fire damage property lists. Again, you get the fire damage property list from the local firehouse, the fire department, and they can give you, it's this public record. You're entitled to this information to go out here and get a list of all the properties that actually went on fire. Trust me, if not a lot of people in the market are probably doing this because not a lot of people follow this channel. Like not every wholesaler is following this one. So if you're lucky enough to be watching this and no one in your market's doing this, you can absolutely crush it. I know Jason just commented. Jason is in Cincinnati, Ohio here. I know for a fact there's people in Cincinnati. Like I know Grant. Shout out to Grant. I know Grant's out there, and I know for a fact he's probably trying this. So you won't be the only one in here, Jason, doing this. But like if you're like a smaller one, you could probably do it pretty well. And I kind of got lucky in like the market I'm in, like Port Saint Lucie, like a ton of wholesalers, but it's small enough where you could still do well. Population's pretty big. You know, we're like we almost have 200,000 people in this county, so like it's pretty big, but the amount of wholesalers is not like too bad. So next here is we got to find the right title company for virtual wholesaling. I don't think a lot of people put a big emphasis on this, and it is a huge emphasis you need to be having for wholesaling real estate. Again, guys, finding a right title company is going to be important. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going out here on the title company, and we're going to call title companies for the virtual like wholesaling market we choose. We're going to call the title companies around the town and ask if they work with wholesalers and if they work with assignment of contracts. They say yes, send them the contract and see if that contract is legal and well enough in your state. The worst thing to do is get an assigned contract. It's not good. They have to change the contract a little, and then you're kind of stuck, you know, like it's not that good. So that's why it's pretty important, guys, to find the right title company out here. Step two, part two, like I like to say, is skip tracing. So what is skip tracing, guys? Remember, skip tracing is basically for a lot of the marketing we're doing, we're going to have to find people's phone numbers. So skip tracing is the process of finding someone's phone number. So skip trace, we're finding someone's phone number, their whereabouts. For example, we've seen an ugly house. We're driving around, and you'll need to skip trace, aka find the phone number, so you can text them or call them to see if they want to sell their property. What I can tell you for skip tracing is there's a lot of great websites for it. I definitely recommend free skip tracing starting out versus paid skip tracing. Use whatever one you want. I will recommend, if you haven't done your first deal yet, do the free skip tracing approach. It's going to help you a lot here. So free versus paid skip tracing. So what's the benefit of free? Again, this is like a website like truepeoplesearch.com. Truepeoplesearch.com is absolutely a free skip tracing site. There's fast Google search. There's so many online. You can go out here and find these places. It works pretty well. So what I can tell you is free skip tracing, big benefit. It's free, right? Pay no money for it. Kind of like this information I give you. Next part is it's more time intensive. It kind of stinks. You're going to spend a lot more time finding these people's phone numbers, but whatever. Like you can listen to like my YouTube videos while you're doing this. So, you know, sometimes you're sitting behind the computer watching me teach. maybe you could play the video in the background while, while you're skip tracing, and you kill two birds with one stone. Maybe you can go out here and listen to some of the videos here, or just go listen to the video. And while you're driving for dollars or something, like you get the best of both worlds, because guys, I know these lives go for hours and hours, and it's sometimes better if you're skip tracing while you're listening to this stuff. Obviously, I know paying attention to the video is great, but just that's something out there too I used to do when I was starting out. I still do that. Like if I gotta go create a thumbnail, like for example, when I made the thumbnail of today's video, it takes me like 5 seconds to make a thumbnail, because I know Photoshop pretty well. But when I was doing that, I was listening it's like a Gary Vee video today. Like when I'm creating the stuff, I listen to other wholesaling videos, some great reaction videos about me. Listen to some of this. I want to know the pulse of the wholesaling community. So if I can watch some of that stuff, when I'm doing something, I'll do it. If I got a long drive, something I always love doing is sometimes I'll download the YouTube. You got the YouTube Premium. You can download the YouTube video and just listen to the educational content. When you're driving around, when I'm working out, I love listening to a podcast. Again, outside of wholesaling real estate, because you start learning other businesses, you can apply to this business, like life lessons, stuff like that. So it's really, really important to do. I can tell you right now. So this is recommended for beginners. You're going to be close to 60 to 70% accuracy on here. So I do recommend it for a beginner. Of course, you can pay for it. If you want to pay, I recommend a service like Batch Leads or ListREI.com. If you're using Batch Leads, use code Zach to get 50% off your skip tracing. But you never have to do that. Whatever. I teach this for free. If you're going to use it, use it. If you don't, I really don't care. I make enough money wholesaling. So what I can tell you right now is the biggest con of paying for skip tracing is it costs money, right? Usually going to be between 12 to 14 cents a record. Huge warning to you guys out here is that if you're getting approached from someone like Fiverr for TLO access, credit bureau data for 5 cents, and the guy's from Fiverr, and he's from, Manila or something, and he's promising the world, and you Western Union $500, guys, you're gonna get scammed. Guys, this is why I have to recommend companies. This is why I just can't tell you just use a skip tracing company, whatever one you want, because a lot of people get scammed if they don't use a good, reputable company that lets me actually go in the back end and look what they do, like Batch and ListREI.com. I know the people there, and I actually get to see the back end. So when I tell you this is a good site, I know the people in the back end. I know where they get the third-party service data. I actually understand it. I talk to the developers. I actually know the stuff here. So I can go and tell you, hey, this is a company that's not going to screw you, and they'll give you a refund if there's an issue. I always make sure before I tell anyone about it. So, the easiest part about these services is, it's super convenient. It's pretty easy. And of course, you save a bunch of time. Accuracy, everyone thinks is 100% accurate. You're close to 80 to 90% accurate with paid skip tracing. I can tell you, it's kind of crazy, but I'm telling you, this is recommended for people making 100,000 plus per year to start paying for skip tracing. You don't have, of course, you can make less than that and do it. I just, in my heart of hearts, if you're making over 100, then start doing it. I'm just telling you, just be careful. I don't want you guys wasting money. It's probably best to start this business, even if you got money, to do it all for free. That's something I could tell you right now. Next year is we have the marketing channels, for virtual wholesaling. What are the best marketing channels I could tell you? So some of my favorite marketing channels I could tell you right off the bat here for virtual wholesaling is hands down. Let me get Zach's got to get bigger here. I got to get bigger, right? So for marketing, I can tell you right now, hands down, virtual wholesaling, the king of virtual wholesaling, marketing channels, is cold calling. Hands down, I swear to you guys, cold calling is going to be the top one. I don't care who says what opinion somebody has. I'm telling you, cold calling is going to be the king for virtual wholesaling. Hands down, I tell you, for marketing channels, virtual wholesaling, cold calling is it. Next year, cold calling is number one. Number two, I tell you, SMS text blasting. SMS text blasting, I can tell you right now, it's a clear number two. The big issue with SMS, it is going to cost money. You can cold call absolutely for free. Again, we teach this all at freewholesaling.com. But the one thing is SMS is going to cost money, So I know not most people starting out don't have a bunch of money. So that's why I'm not going to be saying SMS is king or whatever, so I can promote something. Because I can tell you, Cold calling is going to be number one. Off of Google Voice and TruePeopleSearch.com. If you're starting out, that's the hustle you're going to need. And that's the hustle that's going to lead you to success. Reverse drawing for dollars is a really good strategy too. And again, you're going to have someone do it for you because it's virtual, right? So like I have a team. They drive for dollars for me. They'll do reverse drawing for dollars for me. And I actually don't do it myself, so it's technically virtual. I really specifically do it in my markets because I just know it better. But I could have someone do it in Atlanta. I could do it somewhere in like Central Valley, California. Like I have people that can do it for me. And then go out here, reverse drawing for dollars. Guys, if you don't know what reverse drawing for dollars is, reverse drawing for dollars is basically getting, I don't think I have one near me, it is like a yellow sticky note. And you just say, hey, this is Zach. Give me a call back whenever you can. Boom, right? Next year's RVMs. RVMs is a good virtual wholesaling like marketing strategy. I will give you a warning though, guys. I'm not a lawyer, financial advisor, CPA. I'm not any of this. I am proudly not a realtor. I can tell you, I'm none of those whatever like things that people think they're higher than someone else on. But what I can tell you is RVMs in a lot of places is becoming weirdly illegal, not legal. It's in like a weird gray area. So do RVMs at your own risk. RVMs work. I can tell you this. Sometimes you're going to get a scary letter from someone if you do an RVM, and usually they're not going to do anything, and you're pretty much, you still in TCPA compliance, kind of weird. SMS, you're fine. RVM's in the gray area. I would be careful. Some people, they hear my warning, they do it, and they do well. It's ultimately up to you what you want to do. I can tell you right now. Next year's like internet traffic. This is more of like a scaled up approach, I can tell you. It gets a little weird. But internet traffic's fine. You got your Facebook ads, your SEO ads, PPC ads. People promote it like crazy. I don't tell you which service to use for that because I'm just, between you and me, I'll keep it 100 with you guys. I don't like Facebook ads, SEO, or PPC ads. I've done it in my own business. I've spent a lot of money doing it. I've gotten lots of deals from it, but I just haven't seen the ROI. Me spending $5,000, I'm not making 60, 70K. Like if I do direct mail, I spend $4,000, I'll get like 2 or 3, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 deals, right? Honestly, that's the truth. Now, I'm not going to list direct mail for virtual wholesaling because I think it's very risky to do for virtual wholesaling because direct mail is something you have to really know it really well. I'm getting some questions asked here, guys. I'm doing all the questions after because I want to get through this information for people pretty quickly. But I will tell you right now, RVMs is basically called ringless voicemails. Ringless voicemails are absolutely amazing. I love ringless voicemails. These are basically your voicemail. You call someone, then it goes to voicemail, correct? The really cool part about a ringless voicemail is there's no ringing. You have an audio message that automatically gets put in to someone's voicemail. It's like, hey, this is Zach. If you're interested in selling your house, give me a call. I buy cash. And then they call that number, and then, it's like direct mail. You get inbound marketing. It's all like, I love it. I can tell you right now, if it wasn't this legal gray area in Florida, the Southern District of Florida has actually sued a bunch of people. There's case law in the state of Florida for ringless voicemail, where I'm kind of freaked out over it. I personally know people in the state of Florida and around the country that have gotten hit with $50,000 to $100,000 fines. Call me cheap, but I just don't want to deal with the legal hassle. I don't want to get sued from the government, okay? Now remember, it's like a $50,000 fine and you settle with the government for like $15K, but I just don't want to do it, okay? I'm sorry. Facebook ads, SEO, PPC. Facebook ads used to actually be really good. The price of Facebook ads, because you got like Coca-Cola, you got other companies that are going out here and actually bidding up the cost of a Facebook ad. So they're really not that good right now in 2022. And then if someone's telling you Facebook ads are the best thing since sliced bread, go look at them and see why they're promoting it. Oh, they have a Facebook ads agency. That's probably why they're doing it. Oh, someone tells me PPC ads is the best. Oh, they own a PPC company, right? SEO, they own an SEO company. Do I own a cold calling company? Do I own a drawing for dollars company? I'm telling you, do I own, no, I don't, I just use whatever one you want. I'm telling you absolutely for free. Bandit Signs, do I own a Bandit Sign company? That'd be a terrible business, but no, I do not. But I love Bandit Signs for regular wholesaling, not for virtual wholesaling. I scale up Bandit Signs virtually. It's a dirty business. It's a tough, not like a dirty, it's just like, it's a nitty gritty, like sweat equity type business. So that is my favorite marketing channels. Next here is now we figure out what marketing channel we want. We're really going to have to send out that marketing. It's going to be huge for us here. So, when we send out the marketing, we start cold calling. We start doing reverse routing for dollars. You can do bandit signs if you want, RVMs, whatever, SMS text blasting. Whenever we decide to send all that stuff out, now it's time for us to be going out here and talk to sellers. So remember, guys, if a seller expresses any interest in selling, you need to qualify him. This is Zach's rules for virtual wholesaling. Okay, hear me out, guys. If a seller in your marketing says, hey, I think I might be looking to sell my property, boom. Okay, boom. This is someone we're going to put in our Podio, our CRM. We're going to talk about CRMs a little later too. This is somebody that is on the list. They want to sell. We spent money. We spent time, sweat equity. We need to go after these people. We need to go get a deal. If someone expresses interest in selling, we need to go help the sellers out, right? Telling you, it's huge. Once somebody expresses the inkling of interest, we need to go out here and get that deal done. I'm telling you. So we have to qualify the seller. This is really big here. So what is qualifying the seller? So qualifying the seller is basically making sure if this is a good real estate deal or not. Qualifying the seller is the process of figuring out if a deal is going to be a good deal or not. So how do we qualify the seller? So number one is once you're on the phone, you need to make sure the seller is an actual real life, living, breathing, motivated seller. This is someone, because guys, I'm going to say this one time. I have this analogy. Is it mean? Is it weird? Is it rude? Kind of. Is it insensitive? Probably not. But this is the best way I understand how to do this. So let me break this down really quick. So why do I care why I want to qualify a seller, make sure it's a motivated seller? So this is like this. You don't want to waste your time in virtual wholesaling, right? So like number one here, ready? If you're selling Jif peanut butter, okay, and like you're selling peanut butter, or you sell Nutter Butters, right? Like that's like a peanut butter thing. What is the chance of me as a peanut butter salesperson selling a deal to a person that's deathly afraid or deathly allergic to peanut butter? If I go try to sell this bag of peanuts to someone who will go to anaphylactic shock if they eat a peanut, probably somebody that even if I try hard enough, I call them 50 times a day, I'm never going to get like a deal selling that to them, right? If they're like allergic to that, right? It ain't going to work, right? They're allergic to nuts. I can't sell them my cashews, right? But what if I go and I call someone and they say, oh my gosh, I am obsessed with peanut butter. I eat peanuts all the time. People are going to go crazy with peanut butter. So if they love peanuts, boom. I'm telling you right now, like that's great. So that's how we're going to qualify the seller. So if they like peanuts, cashews, almonds, that's a qualified person, right? What I can tell you is, so we don't want to sell peanuts to someone who's not qualified to have them if they're allergic to it. So what I tell you right now is once you're on the phone, you need to make sure the seller is a real motivated seller. So we're going to ask these questions to make sure it's an actually good wholesaling deal. These questions are 4 things: motivation, condition, time frame, and price. These are going to be the most important things I could tell you right now. So you got to make sure you ask these 4 questions, and it'll do pretty well. So what are the 4 questions, guys? Again, motivation. Why is somebody looking to sell their property? That's what you ask. Number 2 is condition. What's the condition of the property? What does the property look like? The AC, roof, repairs. What kind of repairs does it need? Pretty important. Number 3 here is time frame. When are they looking to sell the property? Are they looking to sell the property in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, a year? It's going to be pretty important. Lastly is price. What price are they looking to sell the property for? Do they want to sell it for 100K, 150, over ask, below what it's worth? You sort of have to figure that out. So it's pretty important. So these are the 4 questions you got to be asking. This is how you make sure the deal is actually a good deal. You don't want to waste your time on someone who actually doesn't want to sell the deal. Next, here's a huge question I always get asked. It's like, Zach, what do I offer the seller? You know, what to offer them? Do I give them an offer? Do they come to me for the offer? Like, what is sort of the situation here? And this is pretty important, guys. I can tell you, to figure out what to offer the seller, we're gonna have to figure out a couple things. Most importantly here, we're gonna have to figure out what is the ARV. Like, how do I calculate this? You know, so how to find ARV, guys? Remember, ARV stands for after repair value. So what is ARV, after repair value? Basically, to find after repair value, we're going to use a free service like Zillow or Realtor.com. Obviously, we can use a paid service, but like as of today, like let's just kind of use a free service for this example. To find ARV, after repair value. So after repair value is basically the value of the property and it's like best day. You know, we do the nice flooring, the kitchen. They got the pretty barn doors. This is like a TV network, pretty house. You know, you got the flipping show type thing. I can tell you right now, this is like what I'm going to start recommending. Just think if it's in its perfect condition, or think, hey, what would this property take for me to want to live in it? Right? Of course, we can't add square footage on it, but like, what would be the condition where it's good enough for us if we want to live in it? So, to find ARV, we're going to use Zillow, Realtor.com. We're going to look for similar houses that are selling or that sold in the area with our criteria. So, one example here is we're going to look for properties. We got to think if we're a property appraiser. What is a property appraiser when they're appraising and finding the value of the property? Those people find values all the time. So we're going to make sure properties that sold in the same subdivision, basically the same area. And next here is square footage. We want to make sure it's between 200 plus or minus square feet. So we want to make sure if the property is good. We want to make sure if it's a 2,000 square foot house, properties that sold for 1,800 square feet or 2,200 square feet. We want to be plus or minus 200. Next here is we want to make sure the bed and bath is the exact same. So if it's a 2-2, look for other 2-2s that sold. Make sure the built year is the same decade of sold. So if the property was bought in like 2010 and we figure out it was built in 1980, we got to figure out. So if the property is built in 1980, we want every house sold in 1971, 72, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1979, 1980. Make sure it's in the same decade. Honestly, so like usually I give a 10-year when I say decade. So if the property is built in 2005, 2000 to 2000, 13, 14, we'd say the rule is, though, it can't be built in the last 5 years. So if a property was built in 2017, we're not going to go compare that to a 2022 brand new built house, right? Those are completely different. You get the same. You get different values for it. That's what I can tell you. You use like that rule basically, and make sure the property is in similar condition. We're not going to like compare like a disgusting, rat infested house with like a really nice clean one that like an old lady like is in and the condition's perfect, right? So I just keep that in mind, guys. And remember how to find ARV and offer to your sellers. This is a general rule. I get heated when someone tells me about the 70% ARV rule. But what I can tell you is my rule generally is to offer sellers. Usually it's like an 84% rule. This is how I figure it out. To offer your sellers, you have to use this simple formula. People get it all the time. People go crazy from it. But what I can tell you is it is ARV minus repairs multiplied by 84% is the MAO. MAO stands for the max allowable offer, the most we can possibly offer to our sellers here. So, for example, if we know the MAO, this is the most we can offer. So if I know a cash buyer is going to buy a house for $100,000, I look at his selling paper, right? Like that's what we're doing. So let's say, let's scale this down a little. Okay. Let's sort of scale this down a little version. So if I have $100,000 bill, I think it has Woodrow Wilson on it. I think $100,000 bill. So if I had $100,000 bill right here and I have a seller who has this $100,000 bill and they want to sell it to me for cash, and I offer them $90,000 for that bill, would you take that? Oh yeah, right. Oh, but I did my calculations. The most I can buy that bill for is $95,000. No, the thing's worth $100,000, right? Cash buyer's going to pay $100,000. This is what this formula calculates. So if you figure that out, we can figure out pretty quick. If I lock it up for 90, I could sell it for 100, make 10, and it makes it really easy for negotiating. Obviously, I've done $1,000 virtual wholesaling deals last year, and I did hundreds of thousands of dollars on like one deal. Well, about 100, like a 5,000 for a virtual wholesaling deal. And there's a huge gap between the margins you make there, right? So to find it, you get your MAO from there. You just got to go below the MAO and then you're in the profit. Obviously, with the lowest possible you can. Sometimes they don't happen like that. So just understand that and then you'll be fine from there. The next part is the appointment. And a lot of people get like distraught or angry that when I say appointment, like for virtual wholesaling, it's more than one. So like what I tell you with the appointment. So the goal of a virtual wholesaling appointment is to walk away with a virtually written agreement, aka a contract, right? A piece of paper we're looking to sell at a deep discount signed by you and the seller. Remember, guys, we're going to call the seller. We're going to walk through the property with them over the phone and talk to the seller about the problem. Remember, we're going to use the Ford method, family, occupation, recreation, dreams to connect with the seller and build rapport. And at the end, we're going to go to the takeaway. Everything looks good here on the property, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Remember, we're doing this over the phone. So I know you said you needed about $140,000 house and you want to do this in 13 days, right? Now you're going to get into your close. This is the close we do over the phone. This is the one that works really well for me. But after looking at everything, I might not be able to do $140,000, Mr. Seller. What if I was able to pay all closing costs and, do this deal? With everything in and out, what if I could buy this thing cash for like 110,000? I mean, and we'd be able to close in 7 days, 10 days, 13 days, whatever days you want. Would that work for you, Mr. Seller? If you have to give an offer, that's sort of what I recommend. Just remember, it's best for them to give the price first. But if they give a price like 140, you got to get it below there. Just understand that's sort of what I would do and sort of recommend for there. Just remember, after looking at everything, I may not be able to do $140,000 cash. Then you hit them again. I'm just repeating this with, if I was able to pay all closing costs and I was able to do everything, buy it for cash for 110, is that something you could do? Boom. Send them over get their email, send it over contract via DocuSign, Dial Loop. Adobe has a free PDF signer. Use whatever you want. Again, here's an example of a purchase and sale agreement. If you go to freewholesaling.com, this is the contract we have. Again, the yellow. Legally, I have to, say this is example purposes. Bring it to the title company. They might switch a couple things up. But overall, that's the one we use. And that's going to be the one that's going to work best for us. So I can tell you right now, that'd be the one I would probably be using over here. So this is the contract that we're using here. So boom, that's it. That's the other side of it. It's pretty simple. About 2 pages there. So just have that. So now the contract signs, what now, right? So our goal here is to sell it to another party for a profit if we can't find this cash buyer. So we just got to sell it, right? So cash buyer, who pays the most? So cash buyer is the person actually buying the wholesaling piece of paper from us. Pretty important that we go, sell it for a good price. So really there's 3 tiers when it comes to cash buyers. This is basically the people that'll pay the most, least. Honestly, it just depends. But the people that pay the least are the people that flip houses for a profit. Next year's pay a little more is people who hold it as rentals. Next are the people that actually pay the most, the people that are actually going to live in the property. Those, again, are going to be the hardest for us to find, it's not that hard. But again, these are the tier lists for cash buyers. Now, how do I find cash buyers? I get asked this question asked all the time. How do you find them? Number 1 is Craigslist. Number 2 is Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, cold calling cash sales, local RIAs, and realtors. We break down exactly how to do it all live at freewholesaling.com. And we break down that whole process. Just know about the rules before you show a house. Remember, they must agree to the price beforehand. Saying this again. Before we show the house to a cash buyer, they must agree to that price beforehand. When we lock up the deal, we got to do an earnest money deposit. Again, at freewholesaling.com, we really break that down again. But they have to agree to the price beforehand. And if they're okay with that price, and they're okay with us making a profit, we'll walk them through the house and we can make a profit from there. And then remember, guys, how to sell to a cash buyer. Again, cash buyer will need to walk through the property with you or with your runner. Again, we're going to explain what a runner is. We're going to make sure the cash buyer doesn't talk to the seller, but just acts as an inspector or partner. I mean, we can sell and ask what is a good time for the partner to see the house, and it won't affect the price. That's the thing you're going to tell the seller. Now, this is pretty important. This is a big difference for wholesaling real estate versus virtual wholesaling real estate. And this is going to be our boots on the ground, aka our runner. Remember, guys, you may need to hire a boots on the ground, aka a runner, to take pictures of the property, do walkthroughs. They usually pay about $50 for each task. I find these people mostly on Facebook job groups. These are where a majority of these people we're going to find are going to be at. Remember, after walkthrough, you know that cash buyer is good. Ask the cash buyer if everything is all good, still on the thing, on the contract, and we're going to ask them if they can sign the assignment of contract. Then they're going to give you your $3,000 to $5,000 non-refundable deposit. Remember, it's going to be a non-refundable deposit sent to the title company, guys. And then boom, here we got the assignment of contract clearly here. This assignment of contract is us selling the contract for a huge profit. That's what we're doing here. We're doing an assignment of contract. We're selling the contract for a profit here. Again, I walked this all at freewholesaling.com. Second page, just make sure the cash buyer doesn't try to screw us out of the deal. We have it all written perfectly for you guys. Lawyered up on that one, so you guys have it all for free. And guys, don't pay me down for that, and bring that to the title company. Make sure the title company's okay with that one too. Now we wait for closing. Again, we're going to call the seller about 2 times a week until the closing. Basically, until closing day, we're going to call the cash buyer once a week, make sure they're still all set for it. I'm telling you right now, we can get it going. Right? Yeah. Basically, we get a closing day. Remember, the seller signs deed and sells, and cash buyer buys. Then you get the check of the title company. Boom, right? Seller signs the deed over. Cash buyer buys it. We're good to go. Quick bonus here for like CRMs. I know CRM might be confusing for you guys. Like, what is a CRM? All this stuff. Remember, we're going to put these leads in your database as called the CRM, and we're going to get the appointment set, close the deal. Basically show you how to set everything up at freewholesaling.com. Remember, if they don't want to sell to you now and they want to sell later, you can do follow-ups with Podio on your CRM. Again, we teach you exactly how to do it all for free. Just remember, guys, again, a quick breakdown. If we put a property under contract for 120, we assign it to a cash buyer for 140, we're going to profit $20,000. And this is basically take a screenshot, whatever. I'm going to give it a second. I'm going to go blank for a second so you guys can screenshot this really quick. Okay, here we are. And basically what this is you're going to choose a list and basically choose the right market, and we're going to find the title company. That's number one. Next, you're really going to send the marketing out. We're going to lock up that contract. Again, download it. Next, we're going to find a cash buyer and assign it. And then boom, we profit and repeat. That is the wholesaling real estate process for virtual wholesaling real estate. Again, guys, freewholesaling.com. We break down the entire process step by step here. And then boom, like what's next? You know, you go to freewholesaling.com, go on lives like this, ask your questions every Thursday at Wholesaling Houses for Real. We do our mastermind and we do our one-on-ones. We did our one-on-ones on Tuesday. Tuesday was a very interesting day, to say the least. Yesterday was an interesting day too. So pretty fun. But guys, that is virtual wholesaling real estate, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Love to answer them and help you guys out with all things wholesaling real estate. So let's get some questions going, guys. Let me know if I taught the right way. If you have any questions, anything you would say differently, let me know. But yeah, guys, I love going on here, talking to you guys about wholesaling and seeing how I can help. So let's see what we got. So Listing asks a great question here. You know, do buyers often sign without viewing the property? And this is a great question here. In my humble opinion, I think that buyers, they probably don't buy without viewing it or having somebody on their team buy it. Just think of a hedge fund. They pay the most, and they actually have to go out here and see it. So just understand that. Let's see here. Whenever I go in the link description, your videos, I tell you, for freewholesaling.com, you have to use a computer to go use it. Mobile's having a weird thing about it. We're dealing with a developer right now on it, but you just use a desktop or request a desktop view on your mobile, and it should work pretty well. Sky, what is up? Sky says, Sky and Star Squad says, Zach, you're amazing. You stand your ground and young and definitely be a future millionaire already there. Future billionaire. Okay. Thank you. I think you do compound interest. I mean, hopefully I can get there. You know, I'm making good money now, but if I keep increasing it, hey, if I mean, at my point in my life, like my goal isn't $1 billion. Like I'm not money driven for like what I do. I think a lot of people understand that. Like I wouldn't be doing YouTube if I was money driven. Everybody knows that. Like if I was money driven, I'd be scaling up a wholesaling business. Like, you know, like doing these videos, scaling up's way easier than like doing this. You know, this is kind of more of I'm trying to change the wholesaling industry for the rest of my life, you know, and trying to change in the way of changing people's lives. That's kind of what I do it. You know, this is kind of what I enjoy. I have a huge passion for it and I love doing it, you know? So yeah. Jake says, do you think wholesaling is going to be banned soon? No. If there's any laws, I'd be helping you guys out. We're at the forefront of like what's going on in wholesaling, and I'm right up there with some of the people and seeing what's going on, you know. What's your favorite city to wholesale in? For virtual, I'd say Richmond still. It's a great one. Let's see here. What's up, guys? I'm going to answer this question. You know, like everyone loves the debate. Everyone wants to ask me questions about the debate, and I'll address this just straight up. I'm not really going to be talking about this debate. I said what I said. What I can tell you is I look for peace right now. That's what I seek. So I'm not here to go talk bad about anybody or do anything like that. I did the debate, and that's really like I'm not going to give my opinion on it as of right now. I just seek peace. That's all I can really say on this live right now. I seek positivity, love, and support for each other. That's what that is what I want. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. I just keep getting questions here on it. That's all I'm going to talk about right now about it. So I appreciate it, guys. Let's see. Zach, got a deal in Port Saint Lucie. How do I contact you? Go to support@flipwithrick.com. Also, guys, if you have any deals you want to send, just go to flipwithrick.com/JV. You can earn while you learn. That is kind of like our little JV program thing. Just remember, that's a program where we do free coaching, but you do have to partner up with us on your deal, and we'll like give you cash buyers lists. We're not going to give you the cash buyer. We're going to teach you how to fish, kind of like a fishing training. That's the best way I could really describe it. Is we'll give you the rod and reel, but you actually got to go do the actual fishing yourself. And you got a problem with the cash buyer? Hey, our team's gonna help coach you on it. We're gonna show you actually how to get through the whole process. Deal with the title company if you need help with it, and kind of help that make sure it's smooth. Again, when you JV with us, it's not going to be a thing where we're not giving you the cash buyer there. You got to do some of the work yourself, but that's what we love doing. Let's see here. Ooh, got a lot of questions here. Let's see. Dave's got a great one. What's the best way to get through your free course? Should I start by taking action as I go through the course and finish? Start taking action. At least start pulling lists. Like go through and one night you can get to the list pulling section and just start pulling lists from there. We were with you, Zach. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen your comments, bro. You've been very supportive, and I truly appreciate it. But as of right now, I can't give any comments on it. But I appreciate everyone that gave me support. And thank you. Love you, bro. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. We will be wholesaling planets in the future. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. This is a good one right here. You said job groups. What other groups do you look for what? I had to get out of a lot of buy and sell some wholesale groups because of spam. Yeah, I mean, that's like, for example, like that's why my group, I think it's growing. So like the Wholesaling Houses for Real Facebook group is like exploding right now. Like there's more people that are joining that than this YouTube channel. And it's like insane. This YouTube channel is getting a ton of people in it too. It's like crazy. Actually, I think they're tied right now. Because the YouTube channel, like so many people are like subscribing to the YouTube channel right now. It's kind of nuts. But that Facebook group's blowing because it's really the only Facebook group that has two things: has more than one post per day, and doesn't. If you have spam, then it's going to be spam like crazy. But people that don't have spam, they can only get through one post a day. Like there's no content in there, so it's a yin and a yang for these Facebook groups. But what I can tell you is, it's nuts, and that's why the Wholesaling House for Real Facebook group has all these posts, and there's really no spam in it. It's kind of nuts because you're at the point now you get like 300 people a day joining that Facebook group. There's so much spam that's got to go through there. You can't stop it, but like our group, we figure out a way, and it's pretty crazy the way we did it. So pretty awesome. Crazy Mike, your opinion, how many deals should one do a day? Maybe one a month and then start going up from there, like you're all up to your own standards, like don't compare yourself to others. Thief is truly the comparison of joy. So go out there and, get on baseline for you and your own business and go from there, Reverse drawing for dollars, simply drawing for dollars, just putting the sticky note there and not knocking on the door. It's like an inbound marketing tactic. Tom's got to go in here, Zach. What are your thoughts about Versium? It's like 2-cent skip. Remember, you got to pay like in bulk up front, and the data is like really old. It's not worth it. I just did a flip 100% virtual in Cincinnati, mainly because all the info Zach is putting out. Looking to JV in the Georgia market. Hit up my boy Jason. Jason, how do people get a hold of you to JV? We want to know. If you already hopped off the live, just comment below your email and let people hit you up. Hey, or is your Facebook? Like, let people know, I have more money than time these days. I need to weigh my options. Of course you do. Adonis says, hey, I have a question. Do you as a wholesaler pay the contractor and repairs for the seller house and then put it for marketing, or the cash buyer is supposed to pay for that? There's no repairs you have to put in. You're selling the property as is. Porgy says, how do I find comps in a non-disclosure state? Zillow's got a really good hack. Look at some of the videos I have. I do have to release a video on that. We have it recorded. How to find comps in non-disclosure states. It's a pretty good one here. Just got accepted an offer on Cleveland property. Congrats, Stony. Awesome work, man. Awesome. Let's see. Jalal says, definitely seen her name. I'm sorry. Zach, I have a question about code violation list. Well, let me know. Zach, what is up? Zach with a K? I'm Zach with an H. So let's see what we got here. So we got a question here, the question here is, Zach, haven't made a deal yet because I'm still learning, but I need a breakdown on filling out contracts. How do I get boots on the ground with unfortunately no money at all? You can find a JV partner that'll split the deal with you in that market. That's the only way you can do it with no money at all. You're going to have to give them equity or money, and that's going to be your choice. And equity seems like the only play you got here. Hey, Zach, when will this be on replay? It looks like you're on the Facebook group instantly. Like once the live's over, it'll instantly be available. It'll be good. Got a dinner date. Just want to continue the support, sir. Really appreciate it. Yeah, you're going to be fine. Rebecca in Alaska trying to virtually wholesale in Texas. Remember talking to Rebecca. She's got it. Kern County is interesting. I'd say Kern County can work. Let's see here. Interesting look. If you live 2 hours from Richmond, are you North Virginia or South Virginia? Because kind of in the middle, right? Corey says Sevierville, very hot place, close to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Vacation spot for the Southeast. Great virtual market. That's 2 hours from me. Awesome. Paid 10K. I was not successful. This is great. Awesome. Everyone knows my opinions on courses and stuff. So, Raphael's got a great question here. You know, I know when you're calling for sale by owners, you leave a brief message. This is Zach. Give me a call back when you're cold calling and have to leave a message. Should it be lengthy? No, short and sweet. I'm telling you, short and sweet is going to give you the best results for virtual wholesaling. Of course. Thank you guys for all the love. It's 4 a.m. now in the morning, watching and learning. No excuse. I love it. Oh my gosh. Yo, I got 2 leads off 1 painted sign this week. Awesome. Like button smashed. Thank you, Christian. Cold calling and texting has been working for me. Awesome. Hey, it's Justin. Love the content, Zach. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My one big question is, how do you get motivated sellers to find you? If you get to that question, I would greatly appreciate the answer. So, how do you get motivated sellers find you with inbound marketing? You know, this is going to be bandit signs, direct mail. This is when the seller's actually calling you. The best way to do it is reverse trying for dollars if you don't have a lot of money, Facebook ads, things like that. Zach the GOAT. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that one. Hey, Zach, it's Brandon from Fort Pierce. Closing another deal on the 30th. Love to come on the channel and give an amazing testimony. Brandon, oh my God. Of course, bro. Love to have you on, man. Let's message me or email me, support@flipwithrick. I'd love to have you on and talk, bro. Or I can go, yeah, we can. I didn't even do it in person. I don't even care. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get some more questions. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my gosh. These questions are ridiculous today. I love it. Earl Weaver says, we'll be able to virtually wholesale in the metaverse. I'm on all the issues for real estate and entrepreneurship and the future. We're very ahead of things. I believe we're in like the year 2000. You know, like everyone thinks the internet's like here and it's like the biggest thing ever. It will be, but like not as quick as you think. I don't think it'll take 15 years, but you're definitely a little too soon for it. I would go very slowly about it. It is the future, but it's not now. Yeah. Can you use title and other services by bases around the world in order to get time zone benefits? Yeah, but like you're only 3 hours, so it's like not that like big of a deal on it. Like it's not like the biggest deal in the world. So I don't really see it too like it's not like too crazy. I've seen. Earl says, is being a real estate agent and a wholesaler a combo to do? I say focus on one. You can do both of them, trust me. But I haven't seen it too well. Let's see here. Write down a note real quick. Rebecca says, Zach, thank you for all the support. Can't wait for the video in non-disclosure states. Of course. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. How to find private lender who's willing to second position for a subject to property you want to acquire? You're gonna have to call and make a lot of connections. That'd be my best advice. This is the best wholesaling content in the entire internet, hands down. Woo! Christian, thank you so much. That's awesome. Luis says, hi, man. Can you explain to me talking to a seller and how to tell them you're a wholesaler? I don't really like outright will tell someone I'm a wholesaler. Just someone looking to buy a property for cash, and we just have a conversation, build rapport, and go from there. Like that's really what we do here. I'm calling my first drawing for dollars list right now, and I'm so nervous. Like, honestly, don't be nervous about this. When you're calling your first list, like, remember the process you have to do. Again, with cold calling, like, really simply here, especially with cold calling, you have to remember you got to keep it simple. KISS, KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. Not calling you stupid, Saul. Just like, you got to keep it simple though, So, you're having a conversation with somebody. Just remember, keep it simple. Hey, are you the owner of the property and are you interested in selling it? You have these two simple conversations with someone. Trust me, that's all you really got to worry about. And it's really simple and it's really easy. Okay, guys. So keep it simple, guys. So basically, the process for cold calling is going to be, hey, are you the owner of this property? And are you interested in selling it? That's all you got to remember and all you really got to do there. Facebook user says, do you leave a clause on the assignment contract that allows to avoid the assignment? Found title issues and they want it out of my assignment. Yeah, I mean, there's clauses in the assignment of contract to protect us, but the title issue, it depends on the issue. Like most issues, it's in the regular purchase and sale because they're actually buying the contract. So you won't get it out of your side. What is up? Can you answer my question, please? If there's no repair needed, how do I find the ARV? Just do ARV if there's no repair needed. I promise you there's at least one thing of repair needed for a house. Even brand new houses aren't perfect. I'm telling you. Like, even do a cut of grass, right? Are hurricane damaged properties a good place to start my wholesaling career? Brian, yes. Wholesaling, hurricane damaged property is probably one of the best. Like, I'm in Florida. Trust me. It's awesome. How do you write the Facebook search bar to find the runners? Just do, your county or city, I don't know, Vero Beach, jobs group, 4 jobs or 4 hire group. That's probably when I'd start doing. Larry says, name some good text blast services besides Batch. REI reply, Lead Sherpa. You can, I'd say Roar, Smarter Contact. There's some pretty good ones out there that I would be recommending. That's kind of ones roughly I would start recommending. Launch Control is another good one too. Like, I mean, I'm sorry if I leave one out. They kind of all use Twilio, so it's crazy. Abis says, Zach's work ethic is insane. I aspire to be like him. Appreciate it. Earl says, do you think focusing on being a real estate agent or doing wholesaling would be better? I tell you right now is I would prefer wholesaling over an agent. You just make more money, Let's see here. I'm in Georgia. Awesome, Mike. You're changing lives here, man. I appreciate it. It means a lot. I truly appreciate that. Yeah, Zach's going to be a billionaire one day with all the values he's given for free. I really appreciate it. That means the world to me, guys. I'm not trying to be a billionaire. I'm just trying to change lives. If I have to be a billionaire to change the wholesaling game, and that's what it takes, sure. I don't think it's going to take that, but I just try to help the people out, Bro, you're the man. Thanks for the great knowledge, of course. Nicholas says, have you pulled tax lien lists from Palm Beach? I try to speak with the clerk of the courthouse and they say they don't give that out. Yeah, you just look it up you just go to the clerk of the court and look it up online. They don't give it out. You just got to find it. New Prop says, what's up? Great stuff in the comments as always. Would anyone want to link up and get some deals done? Of course. Who's Rick? Rick's my dad. So either you're watching this on the Zach Ginn channel or the Flip with Rick channel. And basically what we do here is we talk about wholesaling real estate. You know, we work together in the business and we wholesale. Like that's all we do. And that's what we talk about. So in the example, we use the seller wanting 140 and you offer 110 and we turn and assign it to a cash buyer for 140. Have there been an issue with the seller being upset? Oh, Samra, so the seller being upset that we assigned it for a profit? No, they're usually pretty happy with it. Like the seller's usually never upset. Cash buyers are plentiful. Yep. Yes, it's a 50-50 split. Oscar says, what if the property nearby the property I'm looking at the house and made out of brick and the one I'm trying to wholesale is on blocks and out of wood? How can I get comps for that? Cash flow comps are probably gonna be your best thing. So yeah, cash flow comps are probably gonna be your best one. So figure out how much the property can actually cash flow for. So figure out if it can rent for $1,300 a month, divide that by 1%, it could probably sell for like $130,000. Those are called cash flow comps, and they're pretty good. Jacob says, hair routine. Wake up in the morning and look amazing. I don't know. Hair routine, I don't know. I would, there's, I don't know, shampoo, conditioner. I mean, I would do, what, should I tell you I use hair oil? I don't know. I need to up the hair game, I guess. I gotta get that that flow going. Zach, thank you. Thank you every time I watch you. I learn more and more. Can't wait to get my first deal. You're helping change my family's future. Rebecca, that means so much to me that you give me your trust for that. And here to help you as like best as I can. Yeah, I'm trying my best to help. So hopefully I appreciate you entrusting me. And I swear to you, I'm gonna do my best to help you out. Learn this business absolutely for free. I'm telling you. You're the GoPro. Just remember that, of course. Thank you so much. See, so this one, hey Danny, this is gonna be a hard one. This is an answer. This is a question I can't answer. How to get a wife? See that's one. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it just that one stumps me. You know, I'm not. That's more of a Rick question than a Zach question. So I'll ask him, and I'll get back to you. Oh my gosh. Louis says, "Hey man, you're the best. Explain the part. How do you get the seller? Know you're wholesaling. Know you're wholesaling when you're agreeing." And you can tell them if you want to say, "Hey, I'm wholesaling the house," or you don't have. It just depends on what you want to do. So again, question here. Question asked: how do you comp homes on Zillow for sell by owners? Do you have the offer first before calling? Usually I don't. I get information, then give them a call back. That's generally like what we do, and that's honestly how we do it. We were with you, Zach. I appreciate that one. Russian Eskimo says, I'm planning on buying a sub-2 property with no money and Airbnb being either in Florida, Texas, and free states. I don't know what a free state is. Maybe a low regulation state. What states are best for this? For Airbnbs, some vacation spots. East Georgia, maybe. Kind of by the beaches, Myrtle Beach. Hot spots where a lot of people vacation, I would say. Love you, bro. Thank you. How to determine ARV if the owner is selling the property for land value? You got to figure out land value, you know? Find out the property land around you. That'd be my like that'd be the way I would do it. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking. Ian Brady says, any Creative ways you've been switching it up to get leads besides the usual pulling list, county records. A lot more drawing for dollars lately, just because we could scale it. And I don't know, it's the winter in Florida, so it's kind of easy for us to do. We've been kind of going hard on the government list still, and going quadrupling down on probates. Thanks, Zach. One more question: how can we talk down sellers to accept a lower offer? You can't force a seller to take a low offer on your deal. I think that's something that's pretty important for like a lot of people understand is we can't force these sellers to go out here and accept our offer. But the one thing we can do, like the one thing I tell you, if you want to get a lower offer, build rapport, be speed, and just ask them for a lower deal. Like just ask for a lower deal and be a little more firm on it. The lower your offer, the higher chance they're going to say no. So it's a yin and a yang too. You sort of have to understand with that. So just keep that in mind. Like it's a yin and a yang there. Thank you, Zach, for the motivation. Is Maryland a good market to wholesale, or should I go virtual? Depends where in Maryland. I would say it's fine. What should be first, building a buyer's list or finding sellers? I would say finding sellers, because you can use that deal as leverage to go find and pull a buyer. So that's what I'm thinking here. I like to rewatch this. Will be posted tonight. Oh yeah, just go look through the recent. It should be there. Freddie, what is up, Freddie? Nothing but great information content. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate that, Freddie. It means a lot. Thank you. Marcus the Main says, when pulling lists, if properties have been updated by property owner, should you still call the property owner or remove the property from the list? Probably have been updated. You should call the property owner or remove the property from the list. Depends if it's been like, what do you mean? Like it's been sold or the comp's different? Like, let me know what you mean by that. Will forever be grateful for all the knowledge you gained from you guys. I gained from you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Average split, about 50-50 split we do. Try to get code violation list today. And this lady said that I needed to fill out a form. The form said that the 2 hours are free and the hours after are going to be $65 an hour. So just do 2 hours, Get the 2 hours, and then from there, have someone else pull it, and then they'll do the 2 hours free. I got unlimited friends that'll pull it for me, Like, that's what I do. I'm having trouble staying consistent right now, okay? When you stated that, what was your mindset? How did you start the day knowing this might not work for you? It's the what if. Like, what if it wasn't going to work for me? Like, that was my biggest issue. It's like, what if this business isn't going to work for me? Like what if I actually couldn't get this doing? I committed to just being consistent with it. Bandit signs every single day. I spent all my money. I had to, Thank you, Zach. You're the man, of course. Great question from Valerie. Hi, Zach. Seller has reduced the price of property. Asked the contractor to look at the property and gave me the estimate of 126 for repairs and 51,000 more than he quoted is worth to pursue. Let me read this again. That's 51,000 more than he quoted. If there's equity and can still make money in the deal, yes. If it's not, then probably not. I would probably avoid that. Brian asking again, are hurricane damaged properties lucrative? Yes, they are. What's up, Zach? Let's get some deals, of course. Michael Oman says, lovely Conor McGregor. We got the monkey. We got the McGregor monkey behind us. And then he's got Gane and Moreno. Okay. I like it. Yeah, Michael. Back in the day when I did high school wrestling, Steve Mocco, the wrestling coach at American Top Team, like those guys, I'm pretty sure Usman, Yoel Romero, I think Poirier fights there. I know all the guys that do American Top Team in Coconut Creek, their wrestling coach, if you see a guy who's like blonde with a beard, he's like NCAA heavyweight champion. He actually used to go to all the wrestling tournaments close by me. He had a bunch of camps and stuff. So, so all those corner guys, I used to be like a wrestling coach for me. So it's just fun watching that stuff because like you see that guy, I'm like, oh my god, like I know that guy. Kind of fun. Zach, can you please do a live on the subject of setting up and how to set up an LLC for your wholesaling? Yeah, I will. It's pretty easy. How do you do a deal with the sellers wanting due diligence, deposits? Do an earnest money, make it like $100. 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! I love it. Discretion is key. Oh yeah. This is hands down the best YouTube channel for wholesaling. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. Adonis says, so I just market and sell the property as it's on Facebook or Craigslist without making repairs on the property or investing time on it. The cash buyer will do any repairs if necessary. They'll do it when they buy it. Jordan 338 says, do I have to work for a brokerage if I get my license or can I do assignments independently? You're probably going to have to hang it under with a broker. There's plenty of brokers that will let you. I know EXP right now, a lot of people are wholesaling with them. Yeah. I know that's like a bigger one. I know Keller Williams people that will wholesale. I know a couple others. Try to get a code violation list today, and this lady said that I need to fill out a form. The form said that the 2 hours are... Oh, yeah, I already talked to you about that one. What's up? I'm in New York. Where in New York? Are you in New York City? What's the best time to send out batches for SMS? I would say the best time to send out a batch for SMS would probably be after 2 p.m. And then you can answer all day from there. Like that's probably where I'd be recommending it. I do an interview with Brandon, of course. He's awesome, man. Shout out to him. So you asked, should I do this deal? Let's sort of look at this and see if, hey, should we do the deal or not, right? So Dior says, all the houses in the area are selling for 230 to 260. Should I do it? He's selling it to you for 199. If you could sell it for 230, then yes. It depends on the repairs, obviously. But yeah. Michael says, so cool about I trained at Stipe Miocic gym now. Just moved to Cleveland. Wholesale your content helped tremendously. Spend every day with my son. We'll be next Zach and Rick. Awesome, Michael. Awesome. Let's see. Earl says, how do you in contact you for a possible JV? We do JVing. You just got to understand that we'll give you a list and we're going to help you coach on it, but like we're not going to be giving the buyer. Like you got to do it yourself. So like we'll do it, but it's more of helping like first time people out. You just go to, let me get the link for you. www.flipwithrick.com/JV. So www.flipwithrick.com/JV. I got a deal today. It's his father's property. He's looking to have, he's sending the contract tomorrow. Please help me realize I'm making a good deal. Should be. What do you think about the Orlando market? It's my local market, so debating between working here or going virtual. Stay in Orlando. You do fine, trust me. Also, for pulling code violation list, they're saying that the records are going to be 25 each page. Ask to get it digitally. Weight class, I was 171. I was 170 in high school. I mean, I'm on the taller side, so I like if I was shorter, I'd probably be like, I'd probably be like the average weight class for like most wrestlers, like 145. I was like that tall, skinny, lengthy guy. So that's what I had to be when I was doing high school wrestling. The list is from property owners that own the property for 10 plus years, and the properties are from before 1990. So this list is from property owners that own their property. Some of the properties in the list have been remodeled, so wondering if I should still call. Oh yeah, that's a great list. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah. That's definitely a list I'd be going after. Let's see here. Jamie says, hi, Zach. I'm just starting out and I live in California near Sacramento. Should I adopt the 50-50 approach? I would try to stick to Sacramento. That'd probably be my choice. Like stick to Sacramento. I think you'll do fine. I just realized this was streaming. I cannot stay. Bummer. Just watch the debate. Oh my gosh. I try to say it. I try to talk about it. I have a seller that would like to sell but needs to find a place to rent. Elderly seller. What's the best way to help him find any place? You got to let them do it yourself. You're not a realtor. You're not going to be the person going out here trying to find places for people. It's ultimately up to you. What's up, Zach? But my question is how to get the most newest probate leads before the owner gets drowned with calls and texts. You're going to have to pull it right when it pulls because people usually pull it every week or every month. You got to do it like that day and have a VA do it. Having a VA do it's going to be the clear difference. Scooter's got a good question here. You know, like how do I find little markets that aren't too popular? Honestly, like the best way to find markets that like aren't too popular is going out there and just doing your research. Like that's the only, like you got to do your research, like go to freewholesaling.com, actually go out there and find places where no one's really doing deals. That's the best one I can tell you right now. What do title companies usually ask for when you have a property under contract and ready to open escrow? You got to find the title company first. We kind of said in the beginning of this video. Again, all the information on finding title companies is going to be at freewholesaling.com. You're awesome. Thank you for your insights, of course. How are you getting pics and showing the properties? Again, we're using runners. Those are people you pay like 40, 50 bucks and they'll go around and take pictures of the property for you. Brain says, do you have any tips on how to be better at cold calling and doing it in front of people like family and friends? I get super nervous when I'm cold calling. Braden, the best way, honestly, in my opinion, the best way is just experience. Going out there and actually calling is going to be the best way you can possibly do it. I can tell you right now. So, yeah, just, I would say, yeah, I mean, you just got to call like that. That's the only, like, just keep doing it. And it's like it just like, are you scared to go and walk? Like you've done it so many times, you're not going to be scared to walk. I know like riding a bike, it's like you get super freaked out to ride a bike or scared to ride a bike. Just go out there, ride the bike. It gets pretty simple from there. Is John for dollars in Tulsa good? Oh yeah, it's great. Saul, when cold calling, do I give an offer or do I wait until I'm on the appointment? Wait till you're on the appointment to give the offer. It's going to help you a ton. I'm telling you right now. All right, Corey's got the JV. I'll give you a call. My kids call you my teacher. Oh my gosh, I love it. Ian says, any creative deals, ways you've been switching up to get leads? All right. Honestly, guys, like that's what I'm saying right now. Which is better for wholesaling, buyer's market or seller's market? For me, I would say this market right now. That is a buyer's market. I would recommend that. A buyer's market is easier for me. Seller's market is better for creative financing. Try the $100 house method. What's the $100 house method? Or the 100 calling 100? Let me know what that is. My kids call you my teacher and tell me they want a wholesale. Truly a blessing. That's the life, man. I love it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Corey. We'll work on that deal soon. I know I keep calling you at work, so I'll try to get you. Also on PropStream, when houses say they're a trust or trustee, that just means it's in a trust. That's kind of a way the owner of the house set it up, like an entity. It's not like a corporation or anything. What I can tell you here is sometimes it's weird, but I still do deals under trust, living trusts. Because like it's like an LLC, but easier. Like seriously. Hey Zach, any word on Oregon market? Higher priced, it still works, but it's not the easiest one to do. Thank you again, Zach. Of course. How do buyers feel about older houses like built in the 20s and 30s? Do they still want to deal with them? They do. You just got to check the structure of the property. The roof is fine, stuff like that. And you really shouldn't have a huge issue with it. I haven't seen a big like difference or issue with it. Again, you just got to make sure it's fine. Let's see. Angelica says, I have my LLC in Colorado. A family member expressed to me I am not allowed to operate in other states, which tripped me out. Is this true? You can do it. You're gonna have to pay taxes though. Like it ain't 100% free, but you're gonna have to pay some taxes. Is there a way to determine what you should virtually wholesale? Have been troubling with my market in Maryland. You gotta let me know what market is. It's probably make sure the ARVs are lower. PropStream lean list. Yeah, I would go straight from the source to my VAs. This is an interesting one. The seller is motivated and won't send me pics of the insides of the property. I want to figure out repairs if needs. This is why we have a runner run out and take pictures of the house. Like this is why we do what we do. How to prove the IRS. It's free. I can tell you right now, it's free. My cold callers haven't been bringing in many calls lately. More of a list problem or caller problem. Michael, let me know what list you're pulling. Yeah, maybe it's scam likely the calls. Make sure you call on your own and kind of see what pops up. Zach says, "Oh yeah, I'll give you a call, man." It's my first contract, boss. Let's get it. I just joined you already. Did the step-by-step. Awesome. Could you help me understand how to find a correct buyer for the contract? Dior, the best one is going to be Facebook groups. This is going to be an absolute free way to go out here and actually find these people. So, of course, Facebook groups are going to be the best one. What market you're in is going to be very, very dependent on this. But just go out, like honestly, like what I've seen is just go out there, go in Facebook groups and find people who are buying. They should be on there, and it really isn't that complicated. You go out there and find it from there. You can also go to like listrei.com, cold call cash sales. That's going to be a really good one for you. Go out there and cold call the cash sales. You're going to be amazed from it. You're going to find a lot of lists of people just buying properties. Like these are where we find these hedge fund buyers. You can also use a hedge fund buyer if you're in the right county. I did a whole live on that. Apartments.com, stuff like that, calling like these property management companies are going to be really good too. That's what I've seen. What's the best way I can learn to cold call? Freewholesaling.com. Just go to freewholesaling.com. I'm telling you, freewholesaling.com is where everything's at. That's how you're going to learn it. Is the best way to learn wholesaling at freewholesaling.com. The guy's father is passing away and he's looking to sell it quick. Well, do what's best for him. House is in great shape. Oh, all right. What does JV mean? JV means joint venturing and actually doing your own deal with somebody or like partnering up. It's a good way to do it. Obviously, there's always flaws with that, but JVing is not bad. I like JVing. Like I have no problem with it. Like you're just partnering up with someone, you're splitting the deal. You're apparently like splitting the effort sort of on it. So That's kind of the way it is. It's weird how both cameras have like different perspectives. Isn't that weird? Kind of it's kind of an analogy on life, different lenses, you see completely different thing. How can I book a call with you? I don't sell any coaching, but every Thursday, I had it this Tuesday. We do one-on-ones. You got to be part of Wholesaling Houses for Real to get the link. I live in Miami, so drawing for dollars is my method of building my list. Perfect. Best way to find cash buyers in virtual markets. I would say Facebook group still. Like, I'm just trying to think. Like, I would say that. Angelica's got a great question here. I don't care about paying taxes, but I'm confused on how the whole thing works. Please tell me how this can be functional. You should do a whole video on this. I should do a tax video. I'll work on it. What I could tell you is a tax video. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think here. Yeah, we can do a tax video. Fine. A tax video, really, you just pay regular income tax, but let me write it down. I'll do a tax video, guys. I'm not an accountant though. Write this down. Write this down. Okay. Just wrote it down. I have it on the list of things I'm working on. It says, what's the best way to cold call an off-market house, seeing if they'd be interested in a cash offer, as if there's nobody that as if nobody that lives in it. So just a regular house you're calling. Hey, are you the owner of 123 Main Street, and are you looking to sell the property for cash? That's probably what I'd be saying. Like, are you looking to sell the property for cash? That's all I'd say. And if no one's living in it, then you just call, like, you use the skip tracing still. It's going to get to the person even if they don't even live in the house. Hey, Zach, how to determine the ARV when the seller wants to sell the property at land value? You find the comps on land value now. Oh my gosh, you're being ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Sue Dragon says, how do you avoid a lawsuit as an asset protection? Do you recommend an S Corp or C Corp? If you make less than 170, unmarried, S Corp. If you make more than 400, probably C Corp is going to be the best one. I'm not a lawyer. It's not tax advice. It's ultimately up to you which one you want to do. But I'd just be careful on that. How can you get skip info for trust and LLC? I've been skip tracing through PropStream, which works, but not for those. I would probably find the mailing addresses and skip trace. If you skip trace for mailing addresses, for the LLCs and trusts, you usually can find something. Soto says, have you done deals in Orlando? If so, where do you feel are the best to target sellers? What lists are marketing techniques currently cold calling? Drawing for dollars in Orlando is going to probably be the best one in Orange County for Florida. Got a cough. Jesus. I think I swallowed this water wrong, but whatever. All right. If I was in one of your acquisitions video and the seller asked if you give a price, you say, well, I could give you 100. Oh, okay. Yeah. So what I mean by that is someone says, oh, how much can you sell the property for? How much do you want to sell the property? So this one is, I don't know what I want to sell it for. Well, could I buy your house for $100? So yeah, okay, that's what you meant. Okay. All right, I'll call you, Corey. Jake says, hey, Zach, do you think we should still have a license to wholesale soon? I hope not. Depends on your state. Illinois, Oklahoma, probably. Outside of that, probably not. I just don't. Let's say everyone, All right, let's say this, for example, okay? Everybody has to get their license to wholesale. Let's say that's the case. Starting tomorrow, president announces it, everyone's on board. You need a license to wholesale real estate. Let's say that's it. Let's say that is the gold standard. Am I going to delete my channel? Am I going to quit real estate? I'm going to live in a shoebox forever and just cry about it? No, right? The business is still there. Legit, I think we'd all pay $300, get licensed, and suck it up. I don't want that to happen. I will fight tooth and nail for that. But let's say that happens. I'm not going to go under a rock and quit. I make millions of dollars in this business. If I had to be licensed, I could probably do the same thing. I would probably make my own real estate brokerage and be the wholesaling real estate brokerage, get a huge insurance policy, and have everyone under my brokerage, and they'll charge you $0 for it. That's probably what I would do. Just honest, just so everyone's freaking out if wholesaling becomes illegal. I'll create my own brokerage and I'll make sure I don't take any fees from you guys. Okay. Okay. There's brokers out there that are okay for wholesaling and you can go under their wing for free. Basically, people like me, we'd create our own brokerages, already own a brokerage, but I can make another one. Right. Right. That's probably what I do. I mean, that's my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. But it won't get to that point right now. 50 years, maybe I'll have to. I don't know. That's the problem. Nobody knows. As a beginner, is it a good idea to start out with SMS or cold calling? I recommend cold calling starting out. Yeah, I would prefer cold calling starting out just because you can gain those skills talking to sellers. So yeah, Kay the Shaman, let me know how the actual offer went. What did you say the exact right way? Let me know. Which is better for wholesaling? All right, answer that. I just don't think the buyers really care about the age built too much. I've never really even seen that issue too much, but I mean, it could work. Sue Gibson says, I live outside of Atlanta. Should I look into Atlanta or in the suburbs? There's a lot of hedge fund investors out here. I wonder what property they'd like best. Do all of it around you. Anything within a 45-hour driving radius. Definitely something I would be looking in and something I'd be recommending. That's probably what I'd be looking for, what I prefer right now. Earl says, I'm confused on why I need a title company. If I'm selling the assignment, shouldn't the assignee utilize the title company now to close the deal? Yeah, if the cash buyer doesn't have a title company and then you got to scramble to find a title company and it's too late, you're going to get screwed. If you have a property signed, if you have a contract signed, title companies are weird. One title company will like your contract and one sometimes won't. So if you use someone, cash buyers random, or if you got to find a random cash buyer and use their title company and they don't like your purchase and sale agreement and you got to get a new one signed and you risk everything, you're going to get screwed. Also, you need to put the earnest money deposit down first, and you have to make sure there's a paper trail so you don't get screwed on the deal. This is why you need your own title company. Hopefully that makes sense. And then if you don't get screwed on the deal, plus your seller needs to have a conversation with the title company right when they get the property under contract so they feel at home and they feel comfortable and there's already a relationship already set. If you have to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, a month, you might lose the deal. Amazing work every time. Big thank you so much. Olivia, thank you so much. Cameron says, is there a way to cold call, that faster way to cold call than one number at a time, wasting a lot of time calling numbers, say this number's not available? Get a dialer, but again, you have to pay for it, Either spending your time or money for something. That's what you got to understand this business. So if I don't have any money, I can use my time to find a deal. But if I do not have if I don't have the time, but I have the money, you can use a dialer, which will do it faster. That's sort of what you got to understand this business. What do you do to properties where when there's obviously no one living in it? On PropStream, Batch Script, my tax assessor website, and TrueBill search indicate that the owner's living in the house, but the house is trashed. Have a conversation and try to buy it. Like that's what I would say. Zach, can you help me comp? So yeah, send me a deal if you need help comping it. Hey Zach, my seller demolished the property. I love the beginning of this. This is gonna be great. Hope. Not making fun of you, but like seller demolished the property. I know so many deals like this. But once an offer on land, how can I determine? I thought you meant like figuratively. Oh, they literally demolished it to the ground. Oh, okay. How can I determine what the land is worth so I have an idea? You're gonna have to look at land comps and what prices of land around there are selling for. Add a question on taxes. Should you wholesale under LLC, S Corp, pros, cons? LLC is going to be cheaper and easier. Once you make over 100K, I'd probably move to an S Corp. I had an S Corp forever when I was starting out until I started making like one, I think the numbers, because I was in Florida, so I didn't have to pay any sales income tax for the state until I was making like $250 a year. That's when I pushed it to an C Corp. Because that's 21% flat, which is cheaper, usually above 340, 350. When does one go one-on-one every Thursday? What time? See, we did this Tuesday, usually. On the section you send deals, could explain to me, por favor. On the section you have to send deals. www.flip30.com/JV. Just send the deals there. Have to send deals. On the section you have to send deals, could explain. You got to explain for that a little better. Jonathan, what is up? I appreciate you, Zach. My main issue right now is when I'm talking to sellers and doing virtual, they want me to go and look at it. How do you tell them at that point? You or your partner is going to look at it and have that runner be your partner or that boots on the ground be your partner. Michael says, pull in high equity absentee and owner occupied single family housing list. I think I just answered my own question. LOL. Is everyone pulling that? Yeah, everyone's pulling those lists. Like you got to do a smaller list. Those are not government lists. Go after government lists, bro. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the easiest one to answer. All right, Dominic's mad I didn't answer his question, so should I answer? Should I hire a VA to cold call daily? Dominic, I don't know how much money you make. I don't know how many deals you do. I don't know any of this. So my first deal closes next week. That's great. How much money do you have in your bank account? I don't know. The question is, if your first deal closes next week, you got to understand at freewholesaling.com, this is why sometimes I'll skip over somebody's question. They get upset with me. So Dominic's upset and answer his question here. Let me be honest with you, Dominic. Bruh, Dominic, I'm telling you right now, if you go to freewholesaling.com, you'll understand this. Like, bro, I say this. Do not hire a VA until you make $100,000 per year. If you go through freewholesaling.com, you'll understand that when you go to the VA section of the module. So when I tell everyone to go through freewholesaling.com, if you have a question, after you go through freewholesaling.com, then ask me questions. Dominic, you did not go to freewholesaling.com, so I don't feel like I should answer that question because that was a question that was already answered in freewholesaling.com. Okay, Dominic, I'm very sorry, but that's the honest truth. Okay, bro? At the end of the day, you have to go through freewholesaling.com, and if I don't answer that question, I'll talk to you. I'm not trying to be short or mean, but I'm telling you right now, when I have 300 questions, I'm going to skip it if it's already been asked or it's something that can be asked through freewholesaling.com. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, bro. You're awesome. Thank you, Cameron. Do you have videos explaining how to use PropStream? Oops. Do you have videos explaining how to use PropStream and other tools you use? Yeah, that's in freewholesaling.com. Also, you're a good dude. Dominic, thank you. I'm just saying, please don't be upset. Just if you get upset at me, I'm going to be answer. I'm just going to tell you the truth. If I skip somebody's question, it's probably because I know you didn't go through freewholesaling.com. This is how I'm able to answer everyone's question that actually has a legitimate question that is not through it. I don't follow most gurus and follow you instead. Awesome. Manifested Flips asks, what's up, Zach? What's the best way to find transactional funding? There's a lot of companies out there. I would find where wholesalers are doing it in your local area and do it from there. Some states are weird about it. Lance's, how would the paying work with wholesaling all virtually? Usually title company will wire you the money. All right, guys, that's it. That is wholesaling virtually. Just try and do it. And I'm going. I'm telling you guys right now, virtual wholesaling right now, this is the time to do it. This is the time to be going after it and going at it. Guys, if you have a question, most of it is answered through freewholesaling.com. But if you have any questions, one-on-ones and stuff, I'll see you guys soon. I appreciate it. All love. We got Rick tomorrow, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Smash that like button and subscribe. Comment your questions at Wholesaling Houses for Real. Any questions there, I always answer them. And or people in the mastermind will. So appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.